What's up, guys? Tuvy again and the fly. Tuvy and the fly, apparently. Guys, this is the cutting board that we did. This is the bottom part. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fill in all these little gaps and we're gonna smooth out the bottom so that way it doesn't wobble. Because when we do this, sometimes the wood kind of floats up if we don't clamp it down. It happens. We can't always clamp it down, so it is what it is. But there's a solution for everything. Now, we're gonna use the countertop epoxy from Stone Coat Countertops. This product is amazing. I love it. It's scratch resistant, it's flame resistant. And later on this cutting board that we are selling for somebody, we're gonna show you something really, really cool that you can do after it's all said and done. But first things first, look at how scratched up this is, all right? Do not worry. We're gonna use a chop brush in this process. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit of epoxy. We're gonna prime the brush. What this means is we're gonna add some epoxy into the brush, let it absorb into the fibers. And we're doing that basically so the brush doesn't pick up any of the epoxy that's on the cutting board. Because we want the epoxy that's here to stay here. The epoxy that's on the brush is gonna stay on the brush. Everybody's gonna be happy. Now, pay close attention to the cutting board as I perform my following trick. We're gonna spread it around and make big circles. We're gonna try to get as much of it as possible. And the calculation for this epoxy, by the way, is 3 fluid ounces per square foot. That's what you wanna see on something like this. Right here, we have about a square foot and a half. So we did a little bit over 6 because we do have a few holes that we wanna fill in. So we're gonna take those into consideration and everything's gonna be fine. Now, in order to fill in the epoxy, we're not gonna use the brush. We're gonna use this awesome, nifty little trowel. This thing is 1/8 of an inch thick, 1/8 of an inch wide. It looks like a little castle. It's really cool, and it's formulated to leave the exact amount that you need on the surface. So look what happens. You guys are gonna start noticing how amazing this looks. Whenever we're spreading this around, you notice how those scratches just up and disappeared. That's the beauty of this product. That's the beauty of epoxy. It doesn't hold a grudge. Unlike most people we know, my mother, it will never hold a grudge. But it will look beautiful and it will be amazing. Now here's the cool part about this. Because I haven't cut this cutting board down to size yet, it doesn't matter if I have trails on the sides. I couldn't care less about them. I will show you what to do for those trails to prevent them and to get a smooth finish. But right now, they mean nothing to me because at the end of the day, all that's on the side right now is gonna get cut. Now this trowel is also sold by Stone Coat Countertops. Guys, I plug them in a lot, by the way. I know you noticed this. I plug them in not because they pay me. I plug them in because I truly believe they have the best epoxy product out there. I've used multiple epoxies. Theirs is the one that has always been consistent. I've gotten the best results with it, and I've used several that you can buy at multiple different stores, and they'll work. But Stone Coat Countertops, they just make a product that's superior to everybody else. And when somebody makes a really awesome product, I don't mind throwing their name in there because they deserve it. They've busted their butt, they've done their research, they've gotten the best of the best, and they deserve everything that they can get, especially nowadays. You guys are gonna be sitting at home a lot with this coronavirus, all right? Like it or not, a lot of people are gonna be sitting at home. A lot of people are gonna be home with their kids. My honest to God recommendation, with kids is arts and crafts. My wife does it with my daughters. Well, at least the one that's old enough to do that. And this is Steven, by the way, everybody. Say hi to Steven. He was sick all last week, but we still love him. It ain't no thing. Steven just finished in the bathroom. He was there for a long time. You might want to see a doctor, bro. We're gonna put this over here on the side with the hopes that it doesn't fall on our little project. There we go, we'll put it right here. Anyways, arts and crafts, and guys, epoxy is actually really fun, really easy. All you gotta do is make sure you do your pre-setup ahead of time. So make sure you got the nylon covering whatever you need to cover. You can make the biggest mess you want, and then eventually just pick up the nylon, throw it in the trash. Do not get it on your floors, do not get it on your tables. Once you do that, it ain't going nowhere. But you can get the little molds. You know those the ice molds? They have different looks. They look like hearts, they look like stars, whatever. You can get those little molds. You can get the little epoxy colors, and you can do like little cool earrings and cool pendants with that. Kids love that, and you'll have a blast doing it. I guarantee you it's gonna be fun. Just make sure you get some 3mm or 6mm plastic. Just wrap your whole table with it. And you know, if you're lazy like me, you might wanna leave it there for a couple of weeks because, well, I don't wanna clean that damn table. It's too big. Now, once we put these down, let's get back to what we're doing. Once we put this down, all right, we're gonna take our chop brush and we're gonna chop the surface tension. We're literally gonna break it. So we're just gonna go like this, and we're not gonna go in any specific pattern. We're just gonna break it. And since we do one-take videos because we're not high-tech enough to edit videos, you guys are gonna watch me do this the whole way through, and that's gonna be fun. And this is actually a really fun thing to do. You know, if your kids are old enough, they will get a blast out of this because, well, it's honest to God just fun. If I can do this all day long, I would. Oh wait, I do. Now this is also a self-leveling product. Something very important to remember, self-leveling product. That means that as long as your table and your stuff is level, when you put this on here, it will come out level at the end. And remember I told you I'll tell you what to do with those little runs on the bottom to make sure it runs down evenly? Here's what you do. You take this chop brush and you just rub it all along the edges. What's that gonna do is it's gonna break the surface tension, and when the epoxy runs off the sides, this is going to make sure that it runs off equally. So you're gonna get a wall of epoxy instead of just runs and legs of epoxy. You do that, your projects are gonna come out perfect every single time. Chop, chop, chop. Take a little bit more, no big deal. Now, also when you do that, the best way to go over corners is if you have a rounded edge. We do not have a rounded edge right now because this is the bottom, and we're going to cut this and then round it. So we don't have everything perfect on here right now because it's not finished. But trust me, when it comes down to the finished product, you guys are gonna look at this and say, wow, that bald guy, he makes some pretty awesome stuff. Let me buy something from him. Especially now, by the way, with the coronavirus and everything, like we said. Guys, support your small business community. If you're in the Valley, if you're anywhere else, Texas, California, wherever you are. Some of these guys are still open. Some of these guys will do online orders. Hit them up and just buy a gift card, buy a certificate, buy something so they can have the funds to pass through right now. As of right now, the government is asking us to pay, or they're asking businesses to pay their employees so their employees aren't out of money, but the government isn't paying back that money. They're gonna give back tax credits. That's what they're talking about right now. A lot of businesses don't have that money. Support your local business, help them out, even if it's a $20 gift card. If everybody goes to the business that they like, you get a $20 gift card. By the time you come back, everything's blown over, you got a $20 gift card, the business had a chance to survive, they're still there to greet you. You don't do that, you run the chance of a lot of local businesses shutting their doors just because they can't afford to keep it open. Anyways, that was the plug-in for the, what's it called? The public service announcement. And now, to burn something. There we go. We're gonna get rid of all these bubbles. You ready? Let's go. Focus on the bubbles. Now look at how cool this comes out. Once everything's said and done, no scratches. It's so pretty. Now see, I'm not afraid of getting close to the epoxy. I'm not afraid of anything happening to it because this is a heat-resistant epoxy. That being said, you don't want to overheat it. The hotter it gets, the runnier it gets, and you definitely don't want to hit the sides with that because if you hit the sides, it's going to just drip out and you're not going to have that coat on the sides. What you want to do is you hit the top will get loose enough, it'll start running down the sides, it'll make everything nice and pretty. And by the time you're done with it, no scratches, no nothing, everything's perfect. And you can see how cool this looks. And this is just by us sanding it. It was super sanded, super rough, and now suddenly you look at it and boom, it's clear. It's beautiful, it's amazing. And then once we cut the edges off, we're gonna flip this over, we're gonna route out the sides, and then we're gonna go ahead and hit the top part. We're gonna sand it, and we're gonna hit the top part with a clear coat, and when we're done with that, that is where the magic is really gonna happen, and I promise you, we will have a video about that. So, thank you for putting up with the fact that I'm in a very hot shop today, and that I'm sweating, because, well, we work. We do not plan to do these videos. It's just kind of, I remember to do it. So when I'm about to do something, so I'm like, hey, let me make a video. And then I get one of the guys to videotape me. Or like before, I just do the selfie thing, but this selfie wouldn't have worked here. But thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for liking the page. Thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for sharing our page. We're a new company. We literally just opened. We love doing what we do. And we can only keep on doing it with your support. I'm not asking you for money. All I'm asking you is to share the love, share the page on Facebook, share the video on Facebook, like our page, share our page with your friends. You never know if you have anybody who wants one of our products, especially the cutting boards. Guys, we sell and ship cutting boards all over the country, Corona free. I had to make that plug, but just, you know, share the love. That's all we're asking for. Anyways, thank you very much. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.